Going to start the recording. Want to welcome everyone to our May State Call. And we got a lot to cover tonight, so I want to get going here. And we'll try and get everything in tonight. So, again, welcome to our May State Call. We'll get started as we normally do with our vision statement for Convention of States here in Indiana, and that's our vision is to build a Hoosier grassroots community of citizens and legislators dedicated to the constitutional concept of self-governance. I want to point that out. The term self-governance, you're going to start hearing more and more about that, and I'm going to be talking about that a little bit more later on tonight's call. But we're going to be stressing that more and more, and I personally believe we're going to hear more of that term nationally as well. So just want to point that out to you, that you're going to hear more and more about self-governance here. Mission statement. These are the objectives that we're trying to accomplish here this year, which will bring us closer to our vision statement, and that's meet with all assigned and targeted legislators. We were making good progress on that, but of course the virus has put a kink into us making significant advances on that particular item. But we're still chipping away on it. We'll be talking about that a little bit more later. Grassroots growth to 52,000. I'll be showing you our growth for May, and we are solidly on track right now to accomplish our goal of 52,000. So that part's been very good. That part has been very good. Okay, let's move on. And Rodney, you want to open yourself up, turn your camera on, and give us some words of wisdom?
Yeah, let me hold my camera. Yeah, I got to get the camera on. We kind of got an agenda there. COSU, make sure you take the course for your role and all other courses that are available there as time permits, but for sure the one for your role. If you're an RC, your region captain, the ones that apply to you are the DC course and the grassroots coordinator course. A lot of good information in there. Email information, email blasts, all that is in the grassroots coordinator course. Open the States. Well, first of all, I hope you guys had a good Memorial Day weekend and honored those that have died for freedom, all the way back to the Revolutionary War or whatever. And Colonel Allen West didn't have such a good weekend with his motorcycle accident, but there's a lot of people that are in a world of hurt with the businesses going out of businesses, people losing their jobs in that respect. There are a lot of people laid off, but they're getting subsidized a little bit, which will help a little bit some there with them. So we had Freedom Friday, and I hope you went out and spent a little bit. I wouldn't spend too much because I think we got a financial crisis ahead, thanks to the federal government. And yeah, and so continue to support your local businesses for sure. They're really hurting everywhere. So Mark's podcast, I got my Stitcher notification today of a new podcast, so go out and listen to Mark's podcast on whatever podcast app you use, and rate him on every one of them so he knows how he's doing. And the markmeckler.com, that's a social group you can join and subscribe to, and it's got more than just the Convention of States people in there. It's community where you can do like Facebook or whatever, but it's you won't get shut off by the community there like Facebook does, things like that. A lot of like-minded people there, and I don't know if they have yet, but they can also hook up with other communities within that community that are also like-minded people. I don't know if they've done that yet. That was kind of the intent. And so, openthestates.com, hope you put a video out there. I meant to, I tried to, and my video didn't work, and I failed. So, failure there. I need some training, I guess. There's a lot going on there, a lot of community, a lot of discussion about what's going on in the country as far as the lockdowns and all that. And as you know, probably in Indiana, even if your state says it's opened up, it really hasn't. When you got a restaurant or barber shop or anything that has to operate at a quarter of its natural capacity and business at a time, then they're doomed to be bankrupt over time because they were not set up in the beginning to do that limited business. So
Right.
that's about all I got, Dale. Just encouragement for that. We will get back to the resolution and all that come legislative session, and hopefully you'll hook up with your legislators over the summer and fall.
All right. Rodney, are you going to be able to stay on the call tonight?
Oh, you want me to keep talking? I can talk for an hour.
No.
Yeah, I'll be here. I'll be here.
Because I'm going to talk about self-governance later on, and I know that's a hot topic for you, and I might like for you to chime in if you would like. So, okay? All right. Thanks a lot. I do want to take the opportunity now to once again announce the Leadership Summit that we have coming up on June 13th. This is called the Indiana Convention of States Leadership Summit for 2020. This is going to be on Saturday, June 13th at 10 a.m. And this is going to be a virtual gathering, a virtual summit. We're going to Zoom it. And our events coordinator, Rick Ryan, is coordinating setting this all up for us. He's doing a great job. So everyone in leadership, you should be getting an invitation to this. Everyone will be able to participate. Those not in leadership positions will be able to stream it. We're going to be streaming this summit through our YouTube channel, COS Indiana. So other people will be able to view the summit, those individuals that are not in leadership positions, and we're getting the word out as best we can on this. So please mark that on your calendar, June 13th. Our featured speaker is going to be Mark Meckler. Mark has committed to participate in this. And so we'll have Mark speak for a little while, then open up for Q&A. So, you know, if you're a participant in this, you'll be able to ask questions of Mark. Then we're going to be handing out a couple awards, too. So Rodney will be involved in leading that part of the summit. So just want to make sure everyone's aware of this. Okay? All right, let's look at some new leaders that we got coming in this month. Gary, I don't know if you or Paul want to comment any on these individuals, but we've got 4 district captain candidates that have signed up this month, and we've got some 3 others that have signed up for other types of positions, non-district captains. But you'll be, I think, hearing about them as we go on too. So we're moving along with new people coming in. Gary, you got anything you wanted to comment on our new people?
I'll just make a quick comment. This reflects a lot of work by several people around the state, and give a shout out to Thomas Schultz in particular, who's done a lot of emails and talking to people recruiting. So great work by him, and appreciate, as well as some other folks, to get these people signed up as new leaders.
Okay. Good job. Okay, no, I noticed Rodney and Gary, your camera didn't come on when you were speaking. I don't know if it's something you're doing, or if there's something I'm doing on this end or not doing. So
mine was the security cover. I forgot to select it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Say Dale.
Say hello.
Dale, Larry.
On next time.
Who recruited Ben Harton?
Who recruited him? I don't know.
Okay.
Why?
He's in Region 4. I just wanted to know if I talked to somebody before I called him.
Oh. I don't know, Gary. Gary, had you talked to him, or was this just an applicant that came in?
I'm embarrassed to say I can't tell you for sure if he's somebody I talked to or not. Just you can check the notes in the district dashboard and see what you find there.
We'll see. We'll see if there's something there. Okay. All right, guys. Let's move on here. I want to give a Patriot Pen out tonight. We haven't given a Patriot Pen out for some time, and tonight I want to give one out just to refresh everyone's memory. A Patriot Pen is a little pen, a physical pen, but we give this to individuals that have kind of to give them special recognition. You know, they've maybe done a special project or exhibited a very positive attitude, really done a good job on something. So it's just another way to recognize people that are doing an outstanding job for us. So I want to present tonight a Patriot Pen to Susan Lyon. Now, Susan, relatively new individual in Convention Estates, and of course her husband Rick is our state events coordinator. They both came in together. But Susan has taken on the state newsletter job. And Susan she's also a social media warrior, but she has produced our first state newsletter, and this has gone out in the month of May. So here's just a few scenes from it, and I think Susan has done an outstanding job on this, and she's going to continue. You know, once you get this established and done, your first one done, then subsequent ones become a little bit easier. So, Ken Kashuba, did you want to make any comment on this? I'm sorry Susan can't be with us tonight. Her and Rick are in Florida, as a matter of fact, and couldn't be with us tonight. So, Ken, did you want to say anything about Susan?
Yeah, I know both Susan and Rick are a little disappointed that they went to Florida and weren't able to watch that launch today, but Susan has been a real trooper. She kind of really just jumped in with both feet, and both of us kind of took on the final push to get the state newsletter done. And you know, without Susan's help, I think we'd probably still be waiting on the newsletter, to be honest. But she really was a trooper. She's done a great job, and is eager to get the newsletter out each month by around the third week of each month. So we're really happy and excited to have Susan on. I'm sure she'll have to watch the recording later to get her accolades, but you know, big hand to Susan. She did a great job.
Yeah, she sent me a text today saying she couldn't, that they were in Florida, and evidently the internet connection was not good wherever they were. So I had to tell her that we were what we were going to do tonight. I was trying to surprise her on the call, but she spoiled that. So anyway, congratulations, Susan. And as soon as my next Social Security check comes in, I'll mail you your pen. All right? Okay, let's go through some tracking reports. And this, once again, I'll remind you that on Slack, on the Convention Estates Indiana team, tomorrow I'll be pinning all these reports to the general channel. So you'll be able to take a closer look at these. But the first one I wanted to just touch on here is our training tracking report. Paul, I don't know if you want to comment any on this, but this is just a report that kind of gives everyone an idea of where the individuals in our training program where they are at this particular time in their training. We did add a couple things. Paul, did you want to comment any on that?
Well, this is a newer tracking sheet which places the responsibility for keeping things updated on the trainee, and it looks like everybody's doing a good job of that, so I appreciate you keeping it updated in Google Docs. And I think just a great way for us all to see the progress. It is also, I'd still say, a work in progress. We're making adjustments to it all the time, but I hope you all find it helpful.
I think we talked about this on last month's call a bit, but Paul, you want to just kind of briefly talk about the changes that we made here recently to the training program?
Yeah, so the training program previously was largely some free conference call sessions with certain key leaders, and what we've done is integrated that with COS University courses and then some activities to apply the learning immediately. And probably, at least in my mind, one of the most important things we did is we added training mentors. So each trainee gets assigned a mentor, and it's not the job of the mentor to present the material to the trainee, but just to check in with them on a weekly basis, to set goals for progress and report on how they're moving through the training. And that to me seems to have helped with the progress that we're seeing.
Okay. Well, and I think another important change we've made is we've designed, and I want to thank Paul for doing this, but we've designed this whereby the trainee enters when they have completed a particular activity. So it's no longer someone else's job to enter this. The trainee actually enters this the date that they complete each activity. So I think that's an important change too. And we've added a couple lines here to it. You'll see, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but there's a couple lines up here. We're indicating the date that the trainee started, and we're indicating the date that we expect completion of the program. And I'll tell you right now, that's 8 weeks. So the completion date is a standard completion date is 8 weeks. So, okay, again, this will be pinned if you want to look at this a little closer. If anybody's got any questions on any of these reports as we go along here, just go ahead and speak up. Okay, next one I wanted to cover is districts per region. This is a report that we've been keeping for some time now, and you'll see we're now up to 26 districts. I really thought we were going to hit 30 by the end of May, but it looks like we're not going to make it. But I expect probably in June we'll hit that 30 mark. We haven't been to 30 district captains in some time, so looking forward to hitting a new plateau there, a new level. You'll note that we've changed, made a little change here. We've indicated those districts where the district captain is new and in training. So you'll see the letter T after the districts where the district captain is in training. So
we need to put a T in there next to 36.
In
right there.
Okay. I'll get it. All right. Okay, let's move on then. Our next one. Now, this is one I was really excited to see this. Tim Heidenreich put this report together for us every month, and this is where we're tracking the supporter growth in our state. Again, I won't go into detail on this. This is another report that'll be pinned, and you can take a look at it. But if you look over here in the far right-hand column, I've highlighted two items. Of course, in this column indicates the number of new supporters for each region. Okay, and for the month. For the month of, and we're talking about the month of May, Region 3 led the way for the month, 181. But I want to call your attention to the total down here, 1,248 new supporters. Now folks, that's a good month anytime for us. And I just want to say that, you know, we're making good progress so far this year on reaching our goal of 52,000. So now, obviously, we got some more months to go here, but 1,248 new supporters. That's a good number for us, and I want to thank everyone for everything that you're doing to make this happen. So I just want to call that to your attention. Okay. Mission Excellence Tracking. Now, this is the Mission Excellence Program. This is the program that Gary has put together for district captains. And this is a way for us to view and to see activities that our district captains are engaged in. This is their job to grow the grassroots and to contact legislators. So, and there's, of course, a host of different activities that they can engage in to accomplish this. So, this is a bit of a summary. And Gary, I want you to come in here. I want to recognize these individuals here that have racked up some points. You want to talk about this for the month of May?
Yeah, Dale, I do. I want to give a shout out to several folks who've been hard at work making calls, making connections with legislators, generally being activists, developing legislator relationships, growing the grassroots. And the folks I want to mention are Vicki Mooring, George Ward, Gary Spielman, Larry Hudson, Melba Kaiser, and Thomas Schultz. And Melba in particular went down to the Capitol building, I believe, on 22nd for participated in an activity down there with the Open the States. And so that's great. I want to recognize all the folks who've been busy being activists and helping us in this cause.
All right, good deal. I'd like to, you know, there's.
So I would just like to say that Larry was there with me. In fact, he's the one that took the pictures of my car with the posters on it. So I want to acknowledge Larry's help and his wife.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Melvin. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to both of them.
Yeah. Well, these people deserve recognition, and I just want to just kind of give a little extra recognition to Gary Spellman there. Gary is, and he's on the call with us this evening. Gary's a relatively new district captain, and I just want to thank him for his. And actually, it looks like he's been pretty active all year long. So thank you, Gary, for everything you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Oh, I might mention I was chatting with Gary before the call tonight, and Ken Kashuba, you may want to know, Gary rides a Harley too. So.
Well, at least there's two of us now, so we might be able to get that state ride in after all.
There you go. There you go. So Gary, you're probably going to get contacted by Ken. He's always looking for somebody, you know.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
All right. All right. Okay, let's get into the legislative. Paul, I'm sorry I kind of cut you off there. So, Paul, you want to cover your items there?
Sure, this will be brief. I just want to remind everybody who hasn't to download and use the COS Action app on your smartphone. It's a great way to get access to Citizen Builder and other features of the COS website. And something very important is it's also a way that you're counted as an active district captain when you log into Citizen Builder, and using the app counts you as a login. So it would be a big help if you haven't already to download the app and check it out. Secondly, we're at a point where we're going to be starting to develop our legislative strategy for next session for 2021, and with COVID-19, it in a sense, I think, across many states has caused what I'll call a lost legislative session, where a lot of work that we wanted to accomplish didn't get done. So next year, next session, we'll want to restart some 34 Ready efforts and work on our commissioner, faithful commissioner and commissioner selection law. But I think it will also be an opportunity to do some self-governance. My expectation is that we'll have some legislators who will be introducing some legislation around emergency orders, and if the governor declares a state of emergency, that it triggers the legislature to come into session after a certain period of time, something like that. And it would be a great opportunity for us to get involved in that kind of legislation. And then finally, I've got our tracking report, which basically shows no additional meetings with legislators, at least the target legislators, due to the lockdown orders largely. So not a whole lot to report there. And that's all I have.
I wanted to go back on this legislative strategy meeting. We got to talk about this. Gary and Paul and I are going to get our heads together on this. Normally, when we do a strategy meeting, and for those of you that have participated in them, you know that we basically cover the legislative as well as the grassroots area of what we do here in the state. So they're kind of changing things around on us this year. They're asking for a legislative strategy, and so we got to decide, and we'll be discussing this, whether we want to do one strategy meeting, or do we want to do separate ones, one legislative and one grassroots. So just so you know, that's something we gotta kind of work out. Anybody have any questions for Paul or I on that? Okay, let me jump over here to our comms team, and Ken, you want to lead off? I see we've got. Well, go ahead, Ken. We got Dawn Marie on here tonight. I wanted to be sure and get her involved in this.
Yeah, I'll cover her in the comms team segment. Basically, quick update. Marengo Mike is busy rehearsing his lines. He's looking forward to the summit, the leadership summit coming up. He's really excited about that part. So hopefully he'll have all his lines down by the end of this week and be ready to roll.
Well, I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. I mean,
yeah, as long as
Marengo Mike
going more pressure on him, I think he'll be fine. So I did want to shout out, as far as the comms team goes, in addition to having Susan help out and really take over with the newsletter, the comms team has kind of expanded a little bit in an area that for a long time really lacked any type of bodies or contributions. And this last couple of months, we've had a couple of content writers basically step up. I'll mention Kevin Mayer first. Obviously, he's a DC, but he's also going to be doing some content writing for us once a month. He has a blog which he writes every month called the lifestylepatriots.com, and Kevin's going to be helping us out tremendously with the newsletter and some other areas of that. And then Dawn Marie, who we wanted to make sure we tried to get her on tonight. She's been busy working on an article that's going to focus on Maya and her scholarship. So Maya, Dawn, if you're on, or you want to come on and just give us a brief overview of what you're doing and where else you'd like to be able to help the comms team, and we'd love to hear from you if you can open up your mic. You there, Dawn?
She's coming on.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. This is a new setup to me. I've been used to Zoom meetings. Oh, excuse me. Maya is just an amazing, amazing young woman. Paul Phillips and his wife Lisa just make me renew my faith in the future with kids like this coming up. Do you want me to talk about her?
Well, we pretty well know her, and
oh, she's amazing.
But as a matter of fact, she's on the call with us here tonight. So
oh, good. Hi, Maya.
Hi.
We know how great she is. Tell us about the article that you're writing.
Well, I'm doing it with Ken's guidance to really focus on her COS contribution, but also was kind of hoping it could be funneled back into her homeschool community because she's done really well with a homeschool scholarship and with a plan that's going to make a real difference for this nation. So her education is already underway. She already has a year of college credits, and she's going to Patrick Henry in the D.C. area, and I can see her arguing constitutional law in front of the Supreme Court. She's just going to do great.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, great. Well, Dawn, I'm glad you could join us tonight, and we're very happy to have you on board with us. So, thank you for coming on tonight.
Yeah, it's my real privilege to work with people like you.
Yeah. All right. Now she meant that to me. She said to work with me.
That doesn't include a pay raise, Dale. I'll tell you right now.
Well, your application for a pay raise has been held up again. So.
Yeah, I know. It's waiting on that Social Security check, which has been a long time coming. But that's all we have here in the comm team.
All right. Well, thanks, Dawn, for coming on, and glad to have you with us. Okay. I wanted to mention this is kind of in the media liaison area, but and of course John Ackerman is our media liaison, and John does a great job with our social media warriors and Facebook page and all the other social media platforms. But we had Gary Harbaugh. Gary, did you find the recording? Were you able to find the recording?
I was not. I emailed Caleb, but I didn't hear back, so I don't.
Well, Gary, tell us what happened, Gary. Go ahead and tell us what happened. I think was it last week?
Yeah, last week they had put out a call to for the Open Up, Stand Up, Show Up for Freedom Friday. And so a few days before that, I emailed Caleb Hatch, the program manager for the Pat Miller Show, and asked him if maybe we could talk about that. So he got back to me, and I had a recorded interview with Pat Miller talking about the fact that Convention of States is pushing the openupthestates.com website and so forth, and also got to mention a little bit about what's going on with Convention of States. I think it was in the 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon. And hopefully we'll get a recording of it and we can get it up for other folks to listen to.
Now tell everybody who Pat Miller is. Tell everybody who Pat.
Yeah, Pat Miller does the 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock afternoon radio program on WOWO Radio, which is the big station in Fort Wayne that covers really northern Indiana, parts of Michigan, and northwest Ohio. It's widely listened to in this area.
Okay. Paul has been interviewed on that show. I've been interviewed on it, and Gary seems to be the one that has gotten their attention here lately. I don't know why they don't contact Paul or I. It maybe it's something we did, but this is fine. Gary has found an end to this radio program, so that's great. That's great. And another example of self-governance, folks. And I hope I know John Ackerman, our media liaison, has also done radio interviews, and I would like to see this done by others across the state. So we're always looking for these opportunities, and they are really good opportunities. So I wanted to mention that, Gary. Thank you very much. Okie doke. Let me get on. Let me touch on COS Indiana Live, our broadcast, and of course this is every Monday night. And as you know, I host this broadcast as a Facebook Live broadcast. You know, the young lady here pictured is Debbie Stewart. She does our constitutional literacy series. She was just on this past Monday night, and she'll be on again coming up June 8th, I believe it is, for another chapter. Next Monday, I've got a recorded interview with our newest region captain, Larry Hudson, and I'm going to be, I've never done this before. I've never played a recorded interview on the broadcast, so this will be a first, but I'll be doing that with Larry. I'll be doing that on the broadcast coming up this Monday. But what I wanted to tell you about was we're going to be shifting somewhat on our broadcast. I have always pretty much focused on the national objectives of Convention of States. And as a matter of fact, the intro to the broadcast that where I use Marengo Mike to do the intro, if you've watched the broadcast, you know that he talks about, of course, Convention of States, the solution as big as the problem, and he talks about the federal government in his short intro. Well, we're going to change this around, and I want to share the new intro with you. It's very short here, but I want to share this with you, and hopefully everybody can see it and hear it. So let me see if I can get it going here. But this is the new intro with Marengo Mike.
Hello, welcome to COS Indiana Live. There's never been a more important time in our history than now. If you believe, it's time to stand up and be free. Stay tuned and come back every Monday at 7 p.m. as our state director and host, Dale Parrish, presents the need for self-governance. Our COS Indiana vision statement is to build a grassroots community of Hoosier citizens and legislators dedicated to the constitutional concept of self-governance. So, take it away, Dale.
All right, all right. Hope everyone was able to see that and hear it. But, and Rodney, this is where I wanted you to comment if you could. what I want to start doing, folks, is I want to start interviewing and have on the broadcast as guests those of you that are engaged in other self-governance activities. Now, obviously, being part of the Convention of States is exhibiting self-governance. But I know we have leaders and people in Convention of States that are engaged in other activities in your community or perhaps at the state level that qualify, I believe, as self-governance. So I want to be able to bring you on and listen and have you tell us what you're involved in. So I just wanted to bring that out tonight. Rodney, did you have anything you wanted to perhaps add? I know self-governance is very important to you.
Yeah, well, first I want to say how great it's been, all the work you guys are doing and all the dedication and all these stats and everything. Indiana's awesome. They always are. I'm pretty excited about being on this call every time seeing this. So for the self-governance part, we just saw self-governance in action. That's what Open the States was all about, and the Freedom Friday. It's standing up for liberty and the cause values in your state and your local community. And so we need to be vigilant in searching out for things to defend our liberty everywhere. They give you just a real quick examples of what other states have done. There's many ways to be a self-governing activist and citizen. But so Florida took on an effort to remove, delete, repeal a piece in their state constitution this last session. They got close. They didn't get done, but they will. As it usually goes, some things take a couple of sessions. Texas did property tax relief and reform not this past session, or not this session because they have sessions every other year. The year before, and they were also going to take up constitutional carry and some other things like that. The most recent act was Missouri had the director of the Department of Health and Human Services, which is our Department of Health here in Missouri. The director decided he was going to do a rule amendment which put him in charge of deciding when and how people should be quarantined and schools shut down and other things shut down and all the lockdown stuff. And he's not an elected official. He's appointed by the governor under the advice and consent of the Senate. So we got wind of this, and we weren't hearing about it in the media anywhere. It was being kept quiet. And with some people in the state found out about it on Facebook. We did a call to action and got everybody calling and email. We got a thing called Voter Voice, which is very powerful, that you can, and Paul works with us all the time in the States. He actually helped with this and helped getting it out. The state constructed the messages and the emails to the Senate and the governor, and within 36 hours of taking that action, the director of the Department of Health and Senior Services pulled that amendment and was not going to act on it. So there was not going to be a public hearing. There was not in the media, and when it was pulled, it wasn't in the media. Nobody said a word about it. Nobody knew about it. It was just going to be in effect. So there's kind of examples of things that people in the state can do, and we have the tools to get things done. And so just be on the lookout and work with your state leaders, Dale and Paul and Gary and everybody, on what you think you can do and discuss it and come up with a plan. That sounds pretty good.
And I want to start recognizing those of you that are involved in those kind of activities and bring you on the broadcast and tell us what you're doing, what your story is. So, all right, yeah. Good deal.
Yeah, so Indiana, with all the petition signers and supporters you've got, you do a call to action like that, and even if it was just something in a local community where you've got all the supporters, you would be surprised. You never hear from those people, but if something is affecting their liberty and they're passionate about it, they will stand up. They'll make those calls. They'll send those emails. Like I said, we've got the tools to get it done. So we didn't do it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Rodney. Thank you. Okay, Maya, are you still with us?
Say yes.
Yes, I am.
Say yes.
Yeah.
There's Maya. She said she didn't have anything specifically to report tonight, right?
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet this month with everything shut down.
Okay, well, I just wanted her to come on. We say hi to everyone.
Yeah.
So when are you, now Maya's going to Patrick Henry College, right? Or is it University? College.
College, yes.
Yeah. So when do you leave for Patrick Henry?
I leave August 17th is when I go to Patrick Henry. And then as far as Convention Estates, I have applied for an internship with Convention Estates as with like the Young Americans on the national level. So there's like a little bit of news with Convention Estates.
Oh, well, great. Excellent. So we may see her on COS live on the national broadcast, huh? Yeah. All right, good. Well, thank you, Maya. Thanks for coming on tonight. Okay, just wanted to mention the state prayer contact. Tim Heidenreich is our prayer contact. If you have any needs, anything in any of these categories here that I have shown listed here, please contact Tim, put your request in, and then he's involved in a national group, and he takes the request and so forth from our state to the national group. So just want to be sure you contact him with any of those needs, okay? Let's go around the horn here. Just also make note, our next state call will be, of course, for June, and it'll be, we try to always do the fourth Wednesday of every month, so it'll be June 24th will be our June state call. So I'm going to go through the list here and give everyone an opportunity to speak. If you've got anything else you would like to say. And Gary Spillman, you anything more you want to say, guy? Gary?
Whoop. Okay, I had you muted. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just received in the mail today. This is the flyer for Sue Glick and Jeff Weibel. And what got my attention was in the very front here. It specifically calls out, I will co-sponsor and vote for the resolution applying for the Article 5 convention for the sole purpose of enacting term limits on Congress. So I don't know much about Jeff Weibel, but I'm going to try to get to know him because that definitely caught my attention. So just wanted to share that with the team. Of course, that's Northeast Indiana. That's my district. But what also, just coincidence, the same day, in today's paper, Mr. Weibel's being sponsored by Marlon Stutzman, who used to be our representative for a few years. So there was a write-up in the paper about that. So I thought that was interesting. Just thought I'd share that with the team. Other than that, that's really all I got to say. Thank you.
Okay, my first reaction on the Article 5 term limits thing. That's another Article 5 group, and they have just one objective, and that's term limits.
Correct. I say that.
So you might want to get him. You might want to remind him that joining Convention Estates, we not only address term limits, but we also address two other areas too. So.
Yep, I will. I'm going to keep track of that. Once I see them, when they face off for their debate, I'll try to be there and try to introduce myself to them.
And Sue Glick, while she's been very cordial with us, she did vote no on the resolution. From
yeah, and I tried multiple times to get a hold of her, and with zero luck. And I don't live in the Green, so it's not like I can go knock on her door. But yeah, I've had zero luck getting in contact with her.
All right, good job, Gary. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, mute yourself. George, you got anything?
Gary, I mentioned to you one time if the flag is out, sticking out of Sue Glick's office there across from the courthouse, that means that she's in. I haven't been out and about a whole lot, but I think probably in the last 2 months there's only been one day that I've seen her flag out. So I just think I'm not a big fan of hers because she didn't support us, and her hate crime bill that she put out and stuff. She and I discussed that a little bit. Americans for Prosperity was with me and talking to her about that. So I don't know. Maybe she's just been unavailable. I've never known her really to, like Dale said, she's been pretty cordial with us. I've never had any problem getting in to talk to her or anything. I don't know. Other than that, geez, everybody's doing such a great job, man. We're all sounding like a bunch of real professionals around here. It's cool. I'm proud to be a part of it. Take care, everybody, and have a nice Thanksgiving.
Thanks, George. Thanks. Ed Paraguay, you on?
Yes, I am, Dale. Earlier today, Gary and I discussed the Allen County, Indiana 4-H fair. I called them, but too late to talk to anyone, so I left a message. The website suggests that it's going to be very limited. Looks like 4-H members, their families, judges, and livestock. I'm trying to determine, because I swear I read in the paper a couple of weeks ago that the Allen County Fair was going to be canceled. Now it looks like they'll run it just for the 4-H members, so I want to get a word. The website is just about useless. It doesn't tell you any recent news or give you a hint about what they're thinking, so I'll report back to the group when I hear that. Congratulations to Larry Hudson on being a new regional captain, and I'm glad to see that Dale Hensley is in training for district captain in '83. I bet she's been talking with Vicki Mooring. Both of us have spent quite a bit of time with Dale, and I think she'll be a great addition to the COS group. That's all I have.
All right, Ed. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ken, you've already talked. Vicki Mooring, are you on? Can we? Vicki's it's always hard making contact with her. Her internet's not that good. Are you there, Vicki? All right, we'll move on. Thomas.
Yes, sir. Did somebody say something?
You might know Thomas is always there. He's always ready to say something. How you doing, man? How you doing?
We are still upright and functional.
That's good. Glad to hear that.
Sort of, but we won't get into that until June the 16th. Oh, 17th. Okay. Okay. Now, oh, gee whiz, where to start and where not to start? Okay. Right now, we seen the people that have come aboard as DCs, and I've got two of them as mentoring two of them, and I hope that the DCs make it through the training program, especially the ones I brought aboard.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will, Tom.
Okay. That's all I got to say.
Thanks, Guy. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
How about Richard? Richard Loken, you there?
Yes, I'm here. You hear me?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I can hear you fine. You got anything you wanna talk about?
Well, I found out earlier today that we will probably be having the Blueberry here in Plymouth, so I'm going to try and see if we can get Convention Estates to walk in that parade again. As far as what's going on in this area, it seems like from my neck of the woods, everyone pretty much is doing their little shelter in place and not getting involved with much of anything. Now, when you're speaking about other things that people do outside of Convention Estates as far as being active, I believe it was in February I spoke about Casa de Amistad and our city council working together to give city ID cards to illegals. Well, even though there was a push by a lot of people and we called our councilmen, they voted it unanimously. Now, I don't know if you all recalled, later on during the primaries, Pete Buttigieg, yeah, he spoke about how he gave ID cards to undocumented people in South Bend. Now, the Center for Law and Justice, who's been going after Hillary Clinton's emails, now they're doing FOIA requests and they're going through the courts and fighting with South Bend because what he did was illegal. Now, our lawyer that works with Plymouth and the city council and the mayor, his wife is running for a judge for a position here, and if they can go and push that kind of stuff, and then his spouse is going to be a judge, all this stuff is like intermingling, and then also our city lawyer is also counting with the clerk's office as far as votes and everything else. So there's so much stuff intertwined. You have to really pay attention to everything that's going on here. It's a big mess in this tiny little town of 10,000 people.
Wow.
That's all what we have going on.
All right, good stuff. Thanks.
This is a good time to bring up Cause Community Newsmaker. Richard, you could go to that link and suggest you do an article on that, the interview. Another self-fulfilling section.
Yeah.
It's called Cause what? Cause Community.
Cause Community Newsmaker. I'll post the link.
All right.
All right.
It's already in the comments.
Okay. Okay, Larry Hudson, you got anything else?
No, Dale, I don't have anything.
All right. Okay, Melba, anything else you want to say, hon? Melba?
No, actually, I don't have anything. Thank you.
Really? You don't have anything, Melba?
I know you're used to having me speak at every single one of these, but no.
All right. Okay, good. Okay, I see Chad. Chad Michael, you on here. Chad? Can you hear us, Chad? All right. I guess we're not getting him there. Okay. All right, folks. Well, that's it for tonight. I want to thank everyone for joining in on our call this evening. And again, just a reminder, our next one in June will be June 24th. And I just want to once again say thank you to everyone for the job you're doing here in Indiana. Keep in mind our Leadership Summit coming up June 13th, 10 a.m. You'll be able to participate in that. And please let others know, let as many people know about it, that they'll be able to stream from our YouTube channel, COS Indiana. So once again, I want to thank everyone, and you all have a great evening. So thank you very much. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Bill.